Good morning, 6th grade West Lane students. Today's standard is number sense. Understand that positive and negative numbers are used to describe quantities having opposite directions or values. For example, temperature above or below zero, elevation above or below sea level, credits or debits, positive and negative electric charge. Use positive and negative numbers to represent and compare quantities in real-world contexts, explaining the meaning of zero in each situation. Today's question is, Chicago, Illinois has an elevation of 600 feet above sea level. Sealy, California is located below sea level. Select all values that could represent the location of Sealy. A, negative 0.5 feet, B, 0.5 feet, C, 0 feet, D, 12.5 feet, or E, negative 12.5 feet. Before we begin, let's take a look at the expectations of testing. Before you begin answering your questions, let's talk a little bit about the testing environment again. The iLearn is a little different than iStep in the past, and it may or may not have a time limit the same as iStep did. So in that case, we need to be respectful to our peers that are still testing. So during a practice session or the actual session, we want to make sure that there's no talking, that we're staying seated, that there are no passes in or out of class, that you're working independently, and that when you are finished, you're not moving on until the time is up. And that may look like just sitting there quietly and waiting for others to finish. You will not be able to get out a book or get out pencil and paper to draw or to color or anything else. So part of why we're practicing this is not only to practice the questions, but also to practice the testing environment. So the time limit may not be as long as you need, or you may feel it's not long enough. And so we are not only practicing just for the questions, like I said, but we're practicing on getting ready for the testing environment. So really work on sitting quietly until the time is up and making sure you're being respectful to those that are still testing. Make sure you write down the problem, show all your work. You have 10 minutes. You may begin. Time is up. Let's take a look at the answer. So the question reads, Chicago, Illinois has an elevation of 600 feet above sea level. Sealy, California is located below sea level. Select all values that could represent the location of Sealy. So if we look at this from a number line perspective, we would have 0 as our center point, and 600 feet would be down here because it's above sea level. So anything below sea level would have to be less than 0, which means they would have to be negative values.